Well, after Irma, the debris piles seen in just about every neighborhood across the First Coast are disappearing little by little. But a new report is raising questions about why it's taken so long to clean up after the storm. That report from our news partners at the Jacksonville Times-Union reveals that even though the state demanded county-by-county plans on how to deal with debris, Governor Rick Scott's office never intended to actually follow up to make sure those plans were completed. And some counties, like Baker, never bothered to comply. Clay County simply resubmitted old documents the state already had. A spokesman for the Division of Emergency Management says it was an effort to increase transparency. But while we track the cleanup from Irma, a neighbor on the south side of Jacksonville says he's only now seeing relief from Matthew. You heard right, from Matthew. First Coast News reporter Shelby Danielson has her story.
This is our fourth story on this neighborhood's battle with debris. Finally, about a year and another hurricane later, they are seeing progress, but the road to get there wasn't easy.
You couldn't see the water. It was just loaded with tons and tons of debris.
We met Maureen Hirschoffer back in March of 2016.
Oh, I wish it was the way it was before, but this is fine.
This is her backyard before and then after Hurricane Matthew. For the past year, she spent nearly every day trying to get this debris out of her backyard. Fallen trees from Matthew were clogging up Pottsburg Creek, leading to dangerous flooding with every rainfall.
There was no breaking point. I started and I stayed until it was done.
She reached out to local and state lawmakers, FEMA, and the mayor's office.
It's called passing the buck. I have no idea. Nobody wanted to take ownership.
Until finally, she says, the state took responsibility and the St. John's Water Management Group took action.
2 days before Irma hit, they came and they took a rowboat and they said they were cutting up the trees in the creek. And they cut up a few, put them on the banks.
It was just in time, too.
When I woke up in the morning after Irma, it looked like I was in the middle of a raging river here.
While floodwaters reached above her deck, the fact that they unclogged this creek just 48 hours ahead of Irma saved her house from being flooded too. But new trees fell in place of the ones that had just been removed. Fortunately, this time, the response has been a little quicker, at least for her.
They don't give up, no matter what you do. If you believe in something and you want something to happen, don't give up, because eventually it will happen.
Now they expect to have the remaining debris in their neighborhood picked up later this week. They're happy to see this progress, but they hope Irma's cleanup will follow a shorter timeline.